Hey everybody, we're back with a Thursday night stream doing more Dark Souls 2. Not really much else to say, I guess. This audio sounds kind of weird. So let's continue. We took out Dragon Rider last time. That was... We were around the ship. That's what it was. Completely forgot about that. Let me just move this kind of in the way. Alright, that's better. Get a look at the boat. We're all good. Oh, actually start the death counter. There it is, and we're off. "49 deaths so far. I wonder if it's going to do okay with triple digits. Welcome to death. How you doing, Bane? Welcome to the stream, buddy. It's like, yeah, no, try a torch. Where can I light the torch? Alright, let's go. I don't even remember what's over there. Like, if there's one thing to really say about Dark Souls 2 in comparison with the first, the way that you move, because of the, in the first game, you don't get to teleport until you get the Lord Vessel, which is a good way into the game, and at that point, you know the world. In this game, having the teleport from the word go kind of diminishes that. Just want to work to finish for Christmas. Yeah, not too bad. My back's a little sore. I was doing some recording today, and I ended up cutting it like really short because my back was just like... It's doing better than it was earlier, but yeah, it's still not perfect. It's a good thing it got better. I was actually gonna cancel the stream if it hadn't, but it got better. But yeah, the because Dark Souls 1 has you run around the same areas so much, you learn those areas. Like, we did the Forest of Fallen Giants, and I don't remember that place, mostly. There's so much about that place I don't remember. I've not really done anything to my back, it was just... I was recording earlier and it felt kind of sore, so I finished up the recording, wrapped it all up, and let's get the Estus on. Finished up the recording, wrapped it up, started putting everything away, and my back just went, ah! And it really hurt. I have no idea what happened with it. Like I say, we're doing better now. It's not perfect, but we're doing better. What the hell was that? Yeah, you asked me to navigate my way around, say, the Undead Parish, or Darkroot Forest, Darkroot Basin. Sen's Fortress I know fairly well, but we talk about like early areas of this game. Like we'll talk specifically about the Forest of Fallen Giants, and I barely remember the path through that. And I think it really is down to the teleporter being available so early. It's kind of hurt the game. It's not been as memorable for that. Okay, you. So what I want to do is get onto the ship, presumably. You know, I was thinking about it, and the idea is really stupid. Why remake the original game again? But that said, I would totally play a remake of Remake. Like, specifically in that style. I'd probably love RE1 a lot more like that. Because I love RE2, although let's be fair, who doesn't? And like in the last few months, I've gotten a lot of appreciation for RE3. But RE1 is just something I've never been overly into, even with the remake. But no, I'd totally be down with a remake of RE1 in the style of RE2. Saw a thing Star shared on the Discord we're both on. Star shared what looks to be a release date for RE3 Remake, which says March 31st next year. It looks like it could be a placeholder, but there's a bunch of things that mean it could also be real. It's like March 31st, and the 31st is usually a placeholder. It's like, yeah, no, it's coming out this month. Cool, when? No, just... We're not going to give you the exact date. Okay, we'll say the end. That way we're not getting it... You know, if it moves up, great, pleasant surprise. If we're wrong on... If we say the 12th, then it doesn't come out on the 12th. Then, you know, oh, yeah, that's not going to make people happy. So the 31st is a fairly common placeholder. That said, the 31st of March 2020 is also a Tuesday, which is a very common release day. Oh, jeez. It's a very common day to release games on. And we end up with another point, like... Damn it. We end up with another point, like, March 31st is an insane turnaround in this day and age. Ah, oh, crap, I forgot about you things. Yeah, I could see them wanting to avoid competing with the FF7 remake. That said, there's been plenty of times when publishers just haven't cared. If I remember rightly, February of this year was actually a very packed month for release date. For releases. And they were all very similar releases as well. Like these big open world sandbox games, and they all came out in February this year. Because publishers just do not care. That said, I still think the reason Final Fantasy 15 was delayed pretty close to its launch was because it was going to be released in the same month as Persona 5 otherwise. But there's various reasons to support that hypothesis, including the survey Square put out a little while before it that asked people if they had the choice, would they prefer to buy Final Fantasy 15 or Persona 5? And you're damn right I put Persona 5 on that. That's it, I think I did play 15 before Persona 5 came out for us. 15 was originally set to release in September. Persona 5 was releasing in September in Japan. we didn't get it until April. To be fair, though, like... I remember you were concerned about that. Because you were picking both of those up. And I wasn't. And I have Kingdom Hearts 3 now, but, you know, that's besides the point. But, you know, we definitely agreed that RE2 would be the kind of game you could get through in 5 days. I don't know, I mean, we'll have to see how long Final Fantasy VII Remake is. Because with it just being Midgar, like, how long is it going to be? Is it going to... They're talking it up like it's going to be a full game on its own, but is it going to be like 30 hours? Is it going to be 50 hours? I have no idea. Okay, I need to get on that ship, which means I need to be on that dock. Yeah, that's also another point. You can do the, you do the playthrough of Kingdom Hearts... no, you do the playthrough of Resident Evil 2 of RE2 make, and then go into Kingdom Hearts 3, and then come back to RE2 make. Because let's be fair, which of the two are you more likely to replay? You know, I find that to be less useful than the kick in the original game because it takes so long. I've got to admit, overall, enjoying Dark Souls 2. Not enjoying it as much as the first one, though. There's a bunch of stuff I feel is just for the worse. Come on. Like the Estus timing. The monster design has definitely been weaker. The recovery time is worse. Yeah, that kind of thing makes me glad I don't bother with trophies most of the time. I mean, going after all the trophies in Final Fantasy 13 would have been hell. I tried to go back to that game after I finished it. Oh, is this gonna be... No, okay. I tried to go back to Final Fantasy 13 after I finished it and do a bunch of stuff. And it just... Well, that's why we don't do that. Well, poison hits really fast. Jeez. Yeah, it's like, a good level grinding trick is supposed to be use Vanille's death spell on an Adamantoise, and it has a good chance of working, and you can use it to grind really quickly because the last section of Crystarium isn't available until you've beaten the game. Like, what? When you've beaten the game when there's basically nothing left to do. Thanks, man. And so you do it, and it just never worked for me. And beyond that, like, there's not any post-game stuff. Or at least not any post-game stuff really worth doing. I mean, the reason I go for Platinum when I go for Platinum... Oh, that is... is because the game's still I'm still enjoying the game. That's also a viable point. That said, I am less likely to revisit RPGs anyway. You know, I feel like the trading in this is really garbage. I hit an enemy, the enemy hits me, and it feels not very good. That is really irritating me. I don't know, it feels like everything's slower in this game, and it's not great. Alright, let me see. Did these guys come out? These guys are still here. Grind. You know, grind can be okay depending on the circumstance. But these days, it feels like there either isn't grind in a game, or there's too much. There's very rarely a middle ground. I think Tales of Xillia 2 is one of the best examples I have for that. That game took like 70 plus hours, and at least half of it was grind. It was not fun. And it's the reason why if I go back to that game, it's going to be on the New Game Plus file, so I can have the experience and money boosters. So I can just skip a lot of that grind. That game just stops so many times and says, hey, you want to continue? Get a load of money. There it is. I haven't been up here, and that bothers me. Because I don't remember this door. That's not a real door. Right, I have been up here, I just came up this way. Alright, fair enough. But no, I mean, the only times I've ever gone for platinum is when I'm still enjoying the game. Jeez. Yeah, I only really go for platinum when I'm still enjoying the game. And when the platinum doesn't require me to grind something that I don't enjoy. Like in Spider-Man is probably one of the best recent examples. I got the platinum in Spider-Man. And I enjoyed going through to get the platinum. And it required the pretty standard getting challenge medals, but it didn't care what you got as long as you'd done the challenge. And so that was fine. I enjoyed it. I don't like these things. Their attack pattern is just not right. And I'm not going to trust them not to sneak up on me. Damn it. I knew there was one up here as well. Yeah, I don't like these enemies. That's more souls just lost. Yeah, I don't blame you with that. The thing I find with 15... I've said it before, my big problem with 15 is that I was disappointed with it. Because I started 15 and I got into 15. And then 15 had no payoff for it at all. But, you know, there's also the fact that at no point did they ever figure out the combat system for 15, which was a problem. It gets to the point where I'm in the final dungeon and all I've really got is spamming potions. And also my NPC party apparently also hasn't figured out how to do the combat. Because Prompto just keeps bloody dying all the time. It's like, hey Prompto, what's your weapon? Oh, it's guns. Then why are you stood right in front of the enemy? I got sick of that. And here's the point where like 20 guys will jump at me from different directions. You know, I feel like part of the problem with Dark Souls 2 so far has been the sense that no matter how well I'm doing, it's just not enough. Which is kind of a problem. It feels like it's just throwing stuff at me over and over until I'm dead. Or, like, yeah, no, I do fine. But then it decides to say no, take damage. Which I don't really like. It's playing a very different game to the first one. And I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. Like there, I took damage, and I feel like I really shouldn't have. Like I got that guy before he got me. Plus, you know, an overwhelming lack of enemy variety has been kind of disappointing. It really has been just a lot of guys. On Monday? Why would there be a new playthrough on Monday? There's, both Ocarina of Time and Broforce are still going. these things. They were creepy to begin with, now they're just irritating. This game definitely doesn't feel as balanced as Dark Souls was. No, I didn't say that. Broforce is going on till just before Christmas. If Broforce was ending, you'd have known from today's part. Because I always labelled the last part as the finale. Well, no, Broforce ends on the 24th. We're going to defeat Satan just in time for Christmas. I'm getting really sick of this. So you'll find out whether Christmas is cancelled or not. I was actually pretty happy about that. That Broforce, the final part, ends up going up on Christmas Eve. It was just funny to me. The idea that the final battle with Satan is going to be on Christmas Eve. I mean, if it had been on New Year's Eve, we could have made the end of days joke, but I think Christmas works fine. I'm sick of this area. I'm sick of this area, I'm sick of these enemies. I'm sick of how many people are shooting friggin' fire arrows at me. I'm sick of how much of it's going through my defense. Yeah, no, it's cool, man. No, you spelled haven't right. I'm looking at it right now, you spelled haven't right. Oh no, the first haven't. Alright, fair enough. Just burning through frigging souls as well. You know, I think when I was first doing the original Dark Souls, my first time, the point where I was most discouraged was Sen's Fortress. But at no point did I ever feel like I was just banging my head against a wall, which is what this has felt like so far. Canadian devil. But no, it does feel like I've just been banging my head against a wall with this. Come on. Getting sick of doing that. It's like in RE6 where I want to pull off a quick attack, but RE6 has the quick shot mechanic, more often than not it's worthless. Friggin' dog. Oh no, I can't lock onto it till it's hit me. I also really feel like it's ignoring my inputs. Because that's not the first time I've tried to drink an Estus and I just haven't. Alright, the next one. And the last one. Just to go as far away from that as possible. Good. A little concerned they were following me then. Well, that was bullshit. Come on, Bane. The suplex and the roundhouse kick were both in RE4. Everybody loves the suplex in RE4. Okay, I don't like you. Ninja dick. Oh, wonderful. I'm worried that either this guy's going to climb up and attack me. I'm beginning to dislike this game. You know, I'll be honest, I don't even remember them in RE6. I feel like we've seen a bunch of things here that say that this isn't as good as the first Dark Souls. Damn it. The stun on that was unbelievable, and I'm getting tired of it. The sliding, I made some use out of, but to be fair, most of the time I just did it because it was ridiculous. God, the number of times an enemy has hit me and knocked my stamina to 0 when I've got my shield raised. And then I've gotten hit again because the stun time on it is ridiculous. I feel like this may just be balanced worse than the original. Which is kind of a bad thing, because the first was pretty poorly balanced to begin with. Alright. I just want to get to that frigging ship. I want everything to stop hitting me when I'm attacking it. Oh, there's another guy coming from behind me. Who'd have guessed? I hope somebody's having fish and chips right now, because I've got plenty of salt to spare. For Sunday, I'm thinking Beautiful Joe. Like I said on Tuesday, that is still up for change. We'll see. I feel like there's just a bunch of stuff with this game that doesn't work well. Most likely Beautiful Joe at this point. I've been meaning to do that for a while. If you remember back in the RE4 playthrough, I was like, Beautiful Joe, I'd love to finish that one day. And I still would like to finish it one day. See, this is yet another occasion of I pressed triangle to two-hand my weapon, and it didn't happen. And this has happened a bunch of times. You know, there was a thing with the first Dark Souls of it would count all your inputs. And it could be a problem. So you really had to remember it. So it's like if we want to do like the best way to explain this, like we'll go with this. In Dark Souls 1, we want to do 2 attacks. So in this it's attack and then attack. In Dark Souls 1, if we just tapped attack twice, like here and here, it'd remember that you pressed it twice and do a follow-up attack. And I feel like that worked better than the way this has worked, where it's just ignoring most of my inputs, it feels like. That was back in March. That was the second playthrough, I think. It was crazy to do such a long game for like my second playthrough. Well, you know, it works out. It was a fun game. Still debating when I'm going to go back and do Separate Ways. Probably not going to be anytime soon because RE2 wasn't that long ago. But with Separate Ways, I'm thinking of just doing the Wii version. That way I can pull out the GameCube controller for it again and we can have it as like a spiritual continuation of the playthrough. But there's also the fact that I'm really not looking forward to doing Separate Ways, because Separate Ways is garbage. RE4 was 21 parts. Symphony of the Night. I started Symphony of the Night, and for the first week that was every day. And then I think the second week I had RE4 ready to go, maybe, or I had something. I don't know, RE4 might have been the third playthrough after Metroid Zero Mission. I forget, it's been a while. And I might have had Metroid Zero Mission going on Tuesday and Thursday for that second week, which would have meant the last... I forget how many parts Symphony that actually was. Might have been 7. Let me get a look at that. But yeah, like, when I go back to Separate Ways, I was originally intending to do it on PS4, but I might just do it on the Wii. So we can have it as like some kind of continuation of the original playthrough. I think that'd be a neat idea. That means I'm going to have to complete it on the Wii. But like I said, I kind of want to get it done with. But I'm also really not looking forward to it. There you are, that's where you came from. Dick. This guy. Get up here. I don't know, I'll need to go through, if I'm going to do it on the Wii, I'll need to go through it again on the Wii, because I don't actually have a save file of it. And to be fair, it'll probably just look worse on PS4. Sick of you. When was the last time you went through Separate Ways, Bane? Because I guarantee you that your liking of it is based on a very old playthrough. Last year, really? Jeez. No, separate ways from me. Part of the problem is the way it's balanced. The battleship is stupid. Oh, for fuck's sake. I don't have enough time to find out what the, anti-poison is. That was a waste. Just over an hour. Guarantee I'm going to complain about it when I do it. It's going to take longer than an hour. It's not that long, admittedly. Like that. The first chapter's okay. Ringing the bell. The second chapter is also okay. The third chapter with the maze can honestly die in a car fire. The fourth chapter... Right, I don't actually have a cure for poison. No, I do, it's here. It's not the moss like it was in the first game. The fourth chapter with the battleship is bad. But then the fifth chapter is the worst. The fight with Krauser is bad and the arena is not designed for it. And then the final fight with Sadler. Because it's the tricky thing about Separate Ways. It lures you in into thinking, yeah, it's not so bad. And then it reveals its true colours when you're invested. Well, in Separate Ways, that is basically the best way to go through it. Especially since you're not going to have the ammo for everything. And the money is so worthless since you can't tune any of your weapons up. But it's also the thing, even if you kill everything, you don't have enough money for anything you want anyway. Wish the targeting system wasn't garbage here. You know, after the fight with Sadler, that bit's not that bad. Like you said, it's just ignore everything and run. The number of times that has happened in this area has gotten unbelievable. Somebody just comes up out of nowhere from behind you to hit you. Fuck's sake. Look at how much health I lost because I just had no stamina and I was stunned because of that. Okay, brigand stuff. It is better than that. Okay, let me see. Leather, there's the falconer, the leather, and I had the Drangleic. But compared to the falconer, not as good. Yeah, it's really just the helmet that is better than. Really want to be close to getting out of this stupid place. That actually works out alright. God damn it. Small, smooth, and silky stone. Oh, you're bloody kidding me. Right back here. Alright. Okay, so the ship has to be the goal. And this doesn't lead to it from the looks of it. Let's just use one of these. That was interesting. I've been meaning to go back to Undertale for a while, actually. It's just constantly slipped my mind. Okay, it's around there that we want to go then. That's not bad, I hope that's permanent. But yeah, Undertale just keeps slipping my mind. Okay, set of stairs here. Right, and these things hate the light. And they won't actually attack out in the light. Oh, ignore my attacks. Earthbound, you've been through this before. Earthbound is a game that I never actually finished. I didn't play it that far. I got out of one it. On it? I got out of the first town, like, once. It didn't hold me. Like, maybe I need to play further than that, but I'm always suspicious of any game these days where somebody's like, no, you gotta play it for a certain amount of time for it to get good. Right, somebody died. You coming up? What? Yeah, I'll do for now, I guess. This has got to have. Oh, it's not a switch. Right. There we go, shortcut. Now I can skip that entire thing. Finally making progress. Yeah, no, I'm suspicious of any game where someone's like, no, you've got to play it for so long to enjoy it.
I see light, but it remains dim.
That's because you're looking in the direction of darkness.
I am Carillion, and I've no interest in the magic impaired.
I've played it a few times on emulator.
I see light. I am.
And it never grabbed me. And there's plenty of other Super Nintendo RPGs I haven't actually played that look more interesting. I mean, at this point, let's be fair, Earthbound's reputation is its entire stake. Everyone's like, Earthbound, possibly the best RPG on Super Nintendo, and it's a case of, you realise Chrono Trigger's on there? And, you know, beyond that, not overly into Earthbound's battle system. Maybe. I mean, I finally got around to playing Mario RPG for an extended period thanks to the Super Nintendo Mini. And I was playing through it, but I spent a lot of my time bored. And then I hit that the soft lock. Because all of a sudden, flower points were required because I was fighting an enemy that required special moves to kill. And I'd thrown out all the items that restored flower points. Because they had never been of any use to me. We're talking, like, the charge into Bowser's castle. Like, right near the end. And the flower point items had never been useful. And I think I was totally justified in just deciding to throw them out for items I was going to get more use out of. But then, no, this one enemy comes along and is like, nope. And it had been a while since I saved. And so I could have reloaded and continued from there, but I was just not in the mood to. I hadn't been enjoying the game for a while to begin with. That's probably going to be a boss. No, Chrono Trigger is fantastic. And I think the best way to sum up our collective opinion on Chrono Trigger is the fact that it holds up, and we know it holds up because there is no nostalgia bias, because we didn't get to play it until it came out on the DS. It definitely holds up better than Final Fantasy VI does. Then again, I feel like 5 holds up better than 6. Alright. Gonna go back to the bonfire, play it safe. One guy. Still there. Still causing problems. I don't think two's a case of holding up well so much as it wasn't particularly well done. And I think the biggest problem with Square is the fact, in that regard, is the fact they never fixed 2 in any of the remakes. I think 3 holds up fine-ish. I think 3 holds up a lot better than a lot of the RPGs of its age. Okay, so my halberd. Does everything just get repaired when I sit down at a bonfire? Is that it? Also, didn't I get something to improve my Estus that I didn't end up using? There it is. Alright, so that's Estus plus 2. Buy a load of those. Final Fantasy 1, I think, holds up fairly well, despite what some people say. Mostly just as a, yeah, no, leveling 3, if you're going for that kind of thing, in 3 is irritating as hell. Final Fantasy 1 holds up for its simplicity. It's a fun, simple RPG, I find. If I just want to kind of turn my brain off and experience something like that. Kind of in the same way that I like replaying A Link to the Past over Ocarina of Time. Because there's no story points to really worry about. Right, they're permanently dead then. Alright. And, like, you just go through it much faster. It's the same kind of game as the later Final Fantasies, with less of the baggage. Which is something that I really like. 4, I've never been overly fond of, so you know, I can't give you an unbiased opinion on that. Five is one of my favourites, but I do think 5 holds up. Particularly because I didn't get to play it until... It was post-2010 that I actually got to play Final Fantasy V for the first time. Okay, somebody came up from behind me last time. And I want to know where from. There they are. Look at that. The Onion Knight class is... It's a nice idea on paper, but what it requires to actually get any use out of it, like, ignoring the DS remake requiring you to max out all the classes to get Onion Knight. Ignoring that, talk about the original Famicom version. The fact that Onion Knight is kind of really worthless until you hit level 90 is not something I'm going to deal with. Yeah, post 2010. I didn't have it on Game Boy Advance at the time. I had it on PlayStation, but I never really played it. Which is kind of a shame, actually. But I didn't play it properly until I got it on Game Boy Advance. Well, let's go and do this. Yeah, this is a boss. Oh look, it's another guy. Yeah, it's a weird guy, but it's another guy. First played it on the Anthology. Like I said, I didn't really play it on Anthology. I might have taken a look at it, but I didn't really do much with the Final Fantasy collections on PS1. I've had them for years, I just never did much with them. That's an interesting attack. Well, you're dead. So much trouble to get here, and then the boss was that. Remember the day you completed it. Yeah, it's like I said, so much trouble to get to this, get this far. And that was the boss. Oh hey, the Pyromancy Flame, I might make use out of that. Now where am I? Like, just put me here, don't have me still on the ship and then climb off it. Ugh. Did everybody just walk into the water? No, it's understandable. I remember weird things. Yeah, it looks like everyone just fell into the water. Try jumping, huh? Yeah, I think you said Port Royal was, like, your favourite world before. Either that it was your favourite or that it was the best. More of these guys. Yeah, that's reasonable. I think Port Royal was like the only world I didn't hear of being advertised. But like I've said before, I think Kingdom Hearts 3, like in the advertisements, definitely. They definitely had way too much emphasis on the Pixar stuff. I have a bad feeling about this place. Yep. Lost Bastille again. Must be the other side this time. No, I never beat Omega. I've been meaning to actually do a full... Oh, bonfire. To actually do a full playthrough of that again for a while. I was working through it on Game Boy Advance a little while back and I just kind of stopped. Not for any real reason, just another case of I stopped playing a game for a bit and then didn't go back. That'll be something else I'll hope to go back to with the Analog Pocket. Done Shimryu, but you couldn't do Omega. I don't feel like I've ever had a good mind for super bosses in RPGs, anyway. With a lot of the abuse of the battle system they require. I don't think I've ever been great at it. Dark Spirit in short front. Oh, looks like there's probably a goal there. Hmm. More prepared for you this time, boys. I saw a pretty good meme. In fact, you know, it was... Damn it. It wasn't even a meme, it was a webcomic. It had a funny little bit on it. It was doing the... a guy and a girl, and it's like, I really can't stay, well baby, it's cold outside. I have to go, but baby, it's cold outside. But it got funny, it's like, I really can't stay, but baby, it's cold outside. I have to go, but your tauntaun will freeze before you reach the first marker. Then I'll see you in hell! And, you know, that was a funny twist. I appreciate it. That's not a face for a mask like that. I feel like one eye should be missing with a scar over it. Yeah, that's something, alright. There's a bloodstain here for a reason. Something ambushed him, something grabbed him. But it suggests that this isn't a mimic. Ooh, Estus Flask Shard. Maybe one day I'll feel like I actually have enough Estus. Hey, buddy. You missed. Oh, hey, remember this? This is where we were told about the shortcut, and I did it wrong, so we couldn't get it. But that links us up with where we were before, because there's the cracked wall. Well, you know, there should have been a backstab there. And there just wasn't. Alright, let's go. Push this. Because this is what we were supposed to do. Let me see. Firebomb. Yep. Worked. Oh, hey, a bonfire. Macduff. Bunch of chests here. Really, mimic. Okay.
Dear Flynn. Flynn, I'm not doing the book. So, right now,
Okay.
you've got to give me stones.
Okay. And let's see, what's this? Miracle, fire, lightning, dark, poison, mundane, magic, raw, bleed. Bleed might not be bad, but doesn't like I can do anything with these anyway at the minute. What do you got? Great sword, the katana, great axe, spear, halberd. That's a different kind of halberd from the looks of it. Oh, it's a scythe. Alright, fair enough. I'm looking at the wrong place.
Be gone.
Alright, let's test some of these out. Okay. Well, they all seem okay. Well, let's continue. Watch out for the dogs. And let's continue over here. Was that item there before? Getting some use out of the halberd now. Part of the issue with the halberd in this game is that the first strike is that, and that takes a while. Like the second strike, not even as bad, and the second strike seems to just do more damage than the first strike. Which makes your second strike far more valuable than the first. Are you here now? You want to come and do this? Was it good for you too? One thing I'll definitely say, that was not good with headphones on. Thank God I turned the volume down. You coward. Does give me an idea, though, of how to deal with these guys. Yeah, I was a little afraid of it happening, but I didn't expect it to happen with that hit. Well, that worked out. Well, it got dark in here. You're different. That's irritating. Huh. Wonder if there is something up there. There we go. A luring skull. You know, I feel like all the progress we've made just doesn't actually feel like progress. Like, what even is the goal we're working towards here? When did I get an antiquated key? Alright, onwards. There you are. Well, they're not goodies. That could have gone worse. I feel like there's probably someone up there waiting to ambush me. Well, that's the thing, like, compared to the first Dark Souls, it feels like we're just running around and not making any progress towards a goal. Is he really gonna climb up there and jump off? Jeez. I knew as soon as I swung that it was a bad idea. But, looks like we found a secret passage, though. Ooh. That's not a phantom, that's a real dude. Now, let's see. Got some nice boosts. What about the robes? Yeah, that's not bad. If you want to go back to being light, it's not a bad idea. But yeah, like, I feel like more than anything, we're moving forward, but what is the goal? We're just moving forward to move forward. We're going places, but we don't know why or where to. And like Dark Souls played it smarter. It tells you from the beginning, you have a goal, ring 2 bells. And then for a while, your goal is to just find those 2 bells and ring them. Well, something happened there, and I'm not entirely sure what. And then you ring the 2 bells and Sen's Fortress opens, and then there's your goal. Go and explore that. And by that point, you're invested. I feel like having this game be more open in its design has kind of been a bad idea. Like, open from the beginning. So in the first one, it's... You've got the choice of Graveyard, or New Londo Ruins, or Undeadburg. But you're not going to make any progress in the Graveyard or the New Londo Ruins. The only real choice is Undeadburg. And so you move on from that.
Is that here to see love, however?
But this, it's just been a case of find 4 giant souls. So, okay, why? Well, we've been given an objective, which is find 4 souls. And it's like, cool, where are they? Oh, just keep looking until you find them. And it's like, well, am I looking in the right direction? Am I going down a side path? What am I doing? It's like I say, Dark Souls 1 played it better by giving you the immediate
There.
2 bells, one above, one below.
Seek left.
And it worked better for that. But this feels like it's been too... I don't know. Like, there just hasn't been any direction, which feels like a bad thing. Like, certainly in this regard. Alright, so the pursuer should arrive here. There he is. Get rid of that guy immediately. I feel like he totally should have exploded some of those there. Friggin' coward. You okay there, buddy? No, I don't feel like I know Dark Souls well enough to do a randomizer like that. The only randomizer I've ever done is A Link to the Past, which was fun enough, though it could get really frustrating. I have seen some streams of Symphony of the Night randomizer, which has kind of caught my attention. I've just not looked into setting it up. But that could be fun at some point. Like, the Links to the Past randomizers... There was a point where, I think I said this to you when I was doing it, there was a point where I was just really into watching the randomizer races. I thought they were really cool. And it's not that I don't think they're cool anymore, I guess I had my fill of them, more than anything. I'll probably go back and watch more at some point. But Symphony of the Night randomizer could be something I'd be interested in checking out. Speedruns Dark Souls randomizer. Well, that's what the races for the Link to the Past randomizers are. Speedrun. Do it all as quick as you can. Estimates, you know, where stuff might be. Make the judgment. Might as well use this bonfire and head up there now. Yeah. If I knew the first Dark Souls, like, well enough, because you need to know a game super well for a randomizer, then I'd consider it, but I don't know Dark Souls well enough, and I'm probably never going to learn it well enough. I'm disappointed that didn't do more damage to it, because I was deliberately trying to get him to hit. You know, we do actually have one of the branches. We could progress through one of the bits here. That works out. Oh, is it over there, the statue? Yeah, it's there. Alright. Alright, let's see what we got. You're an enemy, aren't you? Yeah. That is actually kind of disappointing. Yeah, that is actually a horde. Hmm. You know, that sounds really interesting. The Nintendo 64 version of RE2 does have a randomizer option, but it doesn't randomize any of the key items. It's a really good way of testing your knowledge, because you think you know them well enough, and then it turns out you really don't. The first time I played the Link to the Past randomizer, I ended up with the Pegasus Boots being needed to progress. And the Pegasus Boots were on the pyramid, the Great Pyramid in the Dark World, where a heart piece usually is, and I could not for the life of me actually figure that out. Because I rarely go for that heart piece. I completely forgot it even existed. And so, you know, that happened. But I feel like the Link to the Past randomizer is also really friendly for that kind of thing, because it'll keep a record of where it's put everything for you if you want to check it. It's a really neat thing, but it's definitely going to be worth my time at some point to check out other randomizers. But no, I'd be interested in seeing you run an RE3 randomizer, or even RE2. Hey, Professor Snape, how you doing, buddy? But yeah, if you ever get a setup to allow yourself to stream, and you're willing to do it, like, let me know. I'd totally tune into a stream if you're running RE2, RE3 randomizers. I wonder how balanced they are as well. Right, this is here. Because the Link to the Past randomizer is very set up for logic. And like various different kinds of logic, like a no glitch run, and it's all set up so that you can find everything you need to progress without glitches, and at that point it just takes knowledge. Oh, what game did you buy, Professor? The Ketu mod. I might have heard of that. I'm not sure. I think this is an NPC. Oh, Darksiders Genesis. Hey, how you doing? See, that's how you know it's an NPC, because most players who throw down summon signs will bow back. Well, I'm gonna go take on this, what I assume is a boss, while Professor Snape tells us all about Darkside Genesis. Well, that's bullshit. And it's another... It's 3 dudes. We're really doing this. Did not need that. Fucking hell. You know, I don't remember any boss in the first game that immediately hit you as you entered the arena. Yeah. Diablo clone. I had heard of Darksiders Genesis, I just haven't really looked into it. Because I've not done Darksiders 1, 2 or 3 yet. I hit that guy 3 times and only registered once. But yeah, I've not done Darksiders 1, 2 or 3 yet. They're on my list, I need to get round to them. I sat down and tried Darksiders a couple of times, like the first one. And the last time I tried it, I pushed pretty far and I just kind of got bored. But, you know, it could be a refreshing change of pace after Dark Souls, I guess. Put that on the list. I do have the War Mastered version now. Was the War Mastered version the one I was trying last time? I forget. 2 of the Horsemen. Which Horseman is it? Which of the Horsemen? Yeah. I heard mixed things about Darksiders 3. And not mixed as in, yeah, it's not great. Mixed as in, nobody can come up with a consensus on how it is. Some people love it, some people hate it. Which makes it interesting to me. Strife and Death. That's interesting. I would have expected, if Strife was playable, I would have expected Strife to be the sole playable character. Since Strife is the only one we haven't actually seen yet in one of the numbered games. War and Strife. So which is it, Professor? Or do you just pick 2 of them? Like, you pick any 2 of the 4. I knew that was going to happen. Ally required, huh? Well, might as well throw down another effigy. Oh, it switches between War and Strife. Boys from the dwarf. Alright, let's go. Let's do it better this time. Be prepared for this guy on the left. Well, that worked. I don't like the sounds of that. Okay, now it has to come down here to face us. Damn it. Move. Excuse me. Well, that doesn't bode well. The problem is I fell off right at the start. If I teamed up with the Pilgrim to take out the first guy, split the two attention here, work out like Ornstein and Smo, because I'm probably not going to make this. That'll be the strategy for round 3, I guess. But again, it's just more dudes. More dudes in armor. You know, I've made a lot of complaints about Dark Souls hitboxes so far, or Dark Souls 2's hitboxes. And I shouldn't complain there, but I should really have taken damage with that spin attack. You're the weakest. That's the third. There it is. Still a gain. Alright, come on. Based on how this fight is going, unless the phases change when one dies, if I can take one of them out, I might have this. God damn it. Okay, 2. Oh shit, can throw its shields? Oh, that is... The dynamic has changed. Get pulled. God. The healing really does take too long in this game. Alright, let's have this. Yeah, everything's at max, I guess. Alright, let's go do this. Yeah, it's crazy how long everything takes to actually heal you. I'm not getting the timing down for it. It feels like, especially in a fight like that, where the timing is going to be so tight anyway. It just feels like there isn't really a proper way to heal. Not with 3 of them. No messages this time. That worked. There's the rest of them. See, groups are the kind of thing I love using a halberd for. I'm going to repeat it last time. Alright. What is this common fruit? Poison resistance, alright. Okay, so Radiant Gem. Use another effigy so I can summon my dude. Now, if I don't fall off this time, I should be able to take out that first guy before we end up in a fight with the others. And splitting their attention between the 2 of us should work. So let's do this. Plus, being this close really isn't helping it. One. The other 2 are already down there. Beautiful. Come here. You know what? Fuck this game. Hated it in the first one when I had to take damage to enter a boss fight. I hate it here. Yeah, you're gonna aggro, aren't you? What am I, Yosemite Sam? Work out a better plan for this time. And since we've lost over 10,000 souls, I'm now just not happy. Alright. Keep him in the doorway. Means I won't even have to two-hand the halberd. Since they'll all be casually just standing in a line. At no point has poking from behind my shield ever been useful to me in this. Oh, that makes me feel so much better about this current situation, Professor. I'd ask what your worst area is, but it ain't gonna matter, because I haven't got a clue what it is. Even if you told me what it is, I'm not gonna know it. Alright, standard life gem. Throw down one of these. Alright, let's go. Wonderful. Come on. Good work, Belclair. This should make this easier. Swings are so big. Come on, you coward. Claire's almost dead. God damn it! Yeah, I've not spoken to anybody who's actually excited for episode 9. To be fair, I've stopped talking to people about Star Wars in general. Tell you what I am excited for, my eventual rewatching of the original trilogy. I just need to work out some time to actually do it. Some time to actually do it. I could have had it there. The problem really was I got hasty when Belclair's health started getting low. I could have had it. A little more patience would have done it. The problem, like, let's make this quick so we don't make this a whole tangent about Star Wars again, because I've done that way too often. The problem with the sequel trilogy, beyond anything, is it isn't a cohesive storyline that has built up to a conclusion. It doesn't feel like it's ready to end. Because it hasn't done anything. It introduced the characters and then did nothing with them. That's the big thing. And it's where whether you like Last Jedi or not, it's where The Last Jedi really failed, because it didn't work as a midpoint. Last Jedi, effectively, the only way Last Jedi could really work is as an interquill. Not as an actual sequel, just as, yeah, and here's what they did for 5 hours while they were bored. I'm losing it. I really am. Yeah, let me break it down into... let's compare it to a video game series. Story-wise, the best trilogy in games that work that way is probably the Sands of Time trilogy. Or maybe the Mass Effect trilogy, but let's be fair, the Mass Effect conclusion was kind of disappointing, but that's beside the point. The Sands of Time trilogy works better for this analogy. You had Sands of Time, which set everything up, and worked as its own thing, which you could argue Force Awakens kinda did. Then you had Warrior Within, which expanded the idea and took steps forward. And then you had The Two Thrones, which ended the storyline. Continued from Warrior Within and ended the storyline. I knew there was one coming up behind me. And the problem really comes in that The Last Jedi should have been Warrior Within. It should have moved us forward into a position to be ready for the conclusion. And it didn't. And the way this analogy ends up working is The Last Jedi was basically the Forgotten Sands. Because if you played Prince of Persia Forgotten Sands, it exists between Sands of Time and Warrior Within, and absolutely nothing is accomplished there. Because it was done to tie in with the Prince of Persia movie, it was a quick cash-in. Fun enough game, story-wise means absolutely nothing. The prince goes to visit his brother for a bit, yeah, okay. And that's kind of what Last Jedi was. Nothing happens. Except the problem is, important things happened with no character development from anybody. And without getting into the major problems of The Last Jedi again, the main thing it leads to is absolutely no build-up for the conclusion, because it hasn't put itself in a position to conclude. Which is a big part of the reason why nobody I'm aware of actually gives a damn about Rise of Skywalker. The trailers are like the conclusion, the epic conclusion to the greatest saga ever. And everybody's like... It's like when they announced Season 8 would be the final season of Game of Thrones. And it would be 6 episodes, and we all felt like they couldn't actually finish it off in that time. And then it happened, and lo and behold, they couldn't finish it off in a satisfying way in that time. What they ended up doing was rushing through everything, completely dropping character motivations and traits and making everybody an idiot. Just so they could actually get to a point where they can say, it's the end now. And it's essentially the same position Rise of Skywalker is in. We're not hyped for it because it isn't in a position to conclude any kind of storyline. Because The Last Jedi hasn't set it up for that. Here, let's do this again. Okay, I'm not pushing you down. Come over here. Oh, that worked. Oh, you can just jump up here. Yeah, no, why would I go down there and take damage then? Ah, screw that. You guys come up here and fight me. Hey, oh, you bitch. Oh, that might be the reason why I go down there, because there just isn't room up here. Come on. That's not good. There's been a bunch of stuff recently over the past few months that have popped up, like cracked articles saying the sequel trilogy is better than the prequels, and probably the originals as well. And it is like one of the worst examples of clickbait, because it really isn't. And it's entirely because the sequel trilogy hasn't built any kind of storyline. No! Go after the pilgrim, damn it, I need to heal. Thank you, Pilgrim Belclair. It's a clickbait thing. There's no doubt. That was not a nice victory. That was a terrible victory. I guess illusion. Yep. But like from an objective standpoint, the sequel trilogy just hasn't done anything. It shouldn't even be a trilogy at this point. Last Jedi accomplished so little. Like if Luke hadn't died in if Luke and Snoke hadn't died in Episode 8, Episode 8 would just be something you could completely write off as worthless. A bloody awful victory. That's the spirit. Yeah, looking at the way that went, that's not going to happen anytime soon. There, I was through here. Skelebro! Dick move! You know, I'd be amazed if they actually explain it in Episode 9. It's probably going to end up being in one of the comics. Like, the Age of Resistance comic, which I haven't read but I've seen bits of, has an actually pretty decent moment for Snoke, where Snoke and Kylo Ren are on Dagobah, and Snoke's talking about Luke, and Kylo Ren's like, why do you talk about him like that? Is it, you know, why do you talk about him with respect? And Snoke's like, I do respect him. The dude turned Vader back to the light and fucked the Emperor. Of course I respect him. Then turns around and says, if I had your uncle with me. And he's like, I respect him and fear him. And if I had him with me instead of you, the galaxy would have been mine years ago. And it's like, you know what, that's a good moment. And it establishes Snoke as an actually interesting villain. That was then wasted in Episode 8. And we end up with the point of the most interesting stuff Disney has done with the Star Wars name since buying it has not at all been in the movies. Like when Han Solo shows up, when Darth Maul shows up in Solo. It's like, cool, but you know the character already died in Rebels, so you've got nothing you can do with this character. The interesting conclusion to his storyline was elsewhere. Don't try and pull me in with the movie. Unless Disney's going to turn around and make that non-canon. So they can put Darth Maul in a movie and have it mean something. Which, like, it'd be the best idea, story-wise, for them to make Maul's End in Rebels non-canon. It would also be a horrible idea for them to start making their own productions non-canon when they've had Star Wars for less than 10 years. But no, it's essentially been the case of the best stuff that's happened since Disney has bought it has been not the movies. They made like almost all of the old games playable on modern PCs without, like, they re-released. What the hell is that? Well, yeah, that's the big thing. And Disney wants... Oh, Rogue One was fantastic, don't get me wrong. I'm never going to argue that. Disney wants people to be invested in more than just the movies because it's a big multimedia empire. Like, Star Wars is a big multimedia empire. And if people are just invested in the movies, then... Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. If people are just invested in the movies, then Disney's not getting as much money out of them as they could. It wouldn't surprise me if the Maul cameo in Solo was specifically set up to push people into buying box sets of Rebels. And, you know, box sets of the Clone Wars. It's like, oh hey, yeah, Maul. You remember Maul? Remember how you thought he died? Well, well, you know... This series says he survives. Buy the box sets. That kind of thing would not surprise me at all. Well, this is immediately bad. But at the end of the day, you also have to accept that the movies are the big money makers of it. You know, at least until they get Disney Plus off the ground and start raking in the mad cash from that. I mean, it's started, but the fact that it's not available over here is still stupid to me. Where did you come from? It's the kind of thing. Yep, knew that was going to happen. It's the kind of thing that essentially means that I'm probably never going to legally watch The Mandalorian. Because we're at the point where the interest in The Mandalorian is at its highest because it's just come out. And it's possible I could end up getting swept up in the hype. It's happened before. But because Disney has given us no way to actually watch it over here, we're essentially at the point where come March, when we actually can legally watch it over here, I'm not going to care anymore. I'll have either watched it or decided that I'm not going to watch it. God damn it. Okay. But yeah, back to the point I was making. Like, the most interesting stuff has been outside the movies. Which becomes a problem because I'm not investing myself in the expanded universe that Disney's made. I did that with the original expanded universe. It took a lot of time. I'm not learning Disney's new plans for the whole thing by going through all their books and their comics and everything. Part of it is a lack of interest based on how they've currently proceeded. And part of it is, I don't want to do this again. Reading new Star Wars books before the rights were sold to Disney was a fun thing because it was stepping back into a familiar universe. This is going to be a boss, I can feel it. It's stepping back into a familiar universe. Reading the Disney stuff now is going to be... It feels familiar, but everything's different and wrong. And everything you thought you knew isn't actually right anymore. Right, so you just straight step into that. It's not a boss. Alright. And I got very dark all of a sudden. Gonna leave that for now. But yeah, we started off with the Disney stuff, and it was a good thing because they re-released a lot of the old stuff, which LucasArts had just not been doing. Huh. Okay. Great. Yeah, which LucasArts just hadn't been doing. And now you could play the old stuff again. And especially on PC, so much easier because they actually released the stuff through GOG. But then the new stuff they've done just hasn't really mattered in any way. We're back on Star Wars then, again, damn it. Alright, let's go take a look at this not a boss then. Sinners Rise. That should have been a backstab. Really? Let's go then. Yeah, I don't think we get to just... I don't think there's enough towers in games that we actually get to climb. Hmm. You know, I don't think we get to climb enough towers in games. I mean, I say that. I mean, in like Fantasy game, with the top of the tower being a destination that takes time and effort to get to, not in the sense of like Far Cry, where climb to the top of the tower to open the map.
Less.
Hmm. Alright, let's see. There was probably a guy here. Nope. Alright. He took an extra hit. Well, I guess I'm going down to go up. You know, I'm looking forward to the idea of Star Wars month when I get to it. Like, just talk about the good times. Play some of the good games. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Gentlemen. Those platforms feel like a trap. Did I? If I got an Esther shot, she would have said something, wouldn't she? The last Esther shot I got, I definitely used. No, it didn't seem like it. Hmm. No, we're on 5 Estus at the minute. I mean, I've used one, but, you know. Alright, let's try this again. Lacerating knife. Is that an item? Oh, it's a throwing knife, alright. Oh, here we go. That looks unpleasant. Summon this guy. Yeah, that's got to be an NPC. No, that's not good. Oh. It's one of these things. Hey, it looks like it still has the same amount of health it did as a boss. Yo, dude, you could actually throw a hit at it. That'd be nice. So much easier with a bro. It's a good thing I'm already pretty heavy. Ooh. Stamina recovery. Let's have that as a boost. I hope it stacks. So, if I remember rightly, the Chloranthy ring and the Grasscrest shield stacks in the first one. But then again, that is actually quite a drop to the physical resistance. So let's leave that for now. Kill him, dude. Okay. Well, that looks like a fog gate up ahead. It really is too dark in here. Right, let's see, nothing. Somebody's in there. Oh, it's one of those guys? Kill it! Kill it! Okay, and ooh, a new spear. What's this gonna do for me? But that links this place where we found those guys before. Oh, hey, Clem. How you doing today, buddy? I'm sorry, I completely hadn't noticed that you joined. Go check the other side. Alright, we're okay. Very sneaky. Oh, that looks huge. Is that guy dual-wielding shields? That's not an NPC. It can't be an NPC, can it? Hmm. Yep, dead end. Oh, the way he's following me, maybe it is. Is this the tower where I'm going to fight Salazar at the top? Yeah, not doing too bad, Clem. Don't want to ruin the blindness. Oh, have you played Dark Souls 2 before, Clem? I wasn't aware you had. With the way he's following me, nice and kindly, I assume... You've played all three, fair enough. With the way he's following me nice and quietly and standing in the way, I assume he's an NPC. You know, I have a bad feeling about this. Move, move, move. You even played Demon Souls. I'll get to that one day. One day. So let's burn this and see what happens. Guys, you need to stop standing in doorways. Come on. Right, so this is probably going to be a boss. I'm hoping setting those fires actually did something. Beyond showing off the lighting engine in this game. There we go. Yep, it's boss. Is it the salamander? No. It's another dude. Thought I'd come back around then to the Forest of Fallen Giants. Go get him, boys. Go get him, boys. God damn it. Oh, somebody didn't skip Dragoon Day. Are my bows down? No, he's still good. Awesome. You know, I should heal. No, not shield, bro. Oh. No, fancy head. Long swing on that. Leave shield bro alone. Ah. Uh-oh. No, I'm cool. No, go for shield, bro. You said you were gay. Damn it! So close. This way. You know, I wish you could just light torches off bonfires. Thanks, Clem. I'm sorry, the reason you didn't finish the backstab there? Well, at least the boss wasn't far. Oh, poop. I could have had the guy, I just needed him to get off my back for a minute. So I was thinking, you know, like, what would make somebody attack somebody else? And let's be fair, a lot of the time, schoolyard taunts are the best kind of thing for that. Alright. Might as well use another effigy, actually, get my boys back. Okay, so fancy hat. Let me light another torch, actually. Really wish there was a way to use these without costing resources. So much darkness in this game. I hope that big guy didn't respawn. That big guy definitely respawned. I shouldn't have used the torch yet. Your mum's shop said Netta. Yeah, I'm gonna have to switch to shield. We're not gonna get anywhere with this. Have it. Could have done with you finishing there, fancy hat. I should be able to light a torch off this, shouldn't I? But then torches cost resources, don't they? How many torches do I have? Filthy, filthy rats. I got the Pyromancy Flame, though. Let's see about getting some use out of that. Okay, and where do I put my pyromancy? Oh, I'm gonna have to attune that at a bonfire, aren't I? You know, I'd appreciate that, Clem, because I haven't got a clue how torches actually work. I had the issue with that early on, when I put a torch away and then couldn't pull it back out again, apparently the consumables. So I wasn't able to light up the opening area. Oh no. Note to self, rolling through water does in fact put out fires. Let's summon shield, bro. Well, it's the weird thing, like, we started the game, picked up a torch early on. And we had... we lit a few things. And then I put it away, I think, to pull my shield back out. And then I couldn't use the torch again. Well, I expected it to be a timer thing, and, you know, when it runs out, you have to, I don't know, relight the torch. But then it wasn't. You light it on a bonfire? But there's the thing there where I just lit it on one of the things I'd already lit. We'll try this when we get to a bonfire. I have no idea what's going on with it. But Fancy Hat has more health this time, so let's see if this goes better. Yeah, I've used the fire butterfly a couple of times because I wasn't sure of any other way to do it. Guy's fast. Yeah, we've definitely got him this time. With no casualties. Boys. Oh, that was what we were actually after. Let me get a look at this. Right, so that's one of the giant souls we've been after all this time. And then it goes down. Oh, that's pretty neat. You know, I suspected something like that on the way back in for the second fight. But it was really just luck that I happened to have a torch. A lit torch with me. Yeah, this is a weird sized area for a bonfire. A big square room rather than a small round one. Primal bonfire. Okay, and what does that mean? This isn't somewhere I can rest, alright. Well, progress was definitely had today. Maybe it was because I was complaining about feeling like we hadn't made any progress. Yo, you got any info for me?
You have acquired the soul of an old one.
Mm-hmm.
That is more than most undead can say.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was helpful. And let me see. Let's go get a couple more life gems. Hmm. Let's check out the mansion. We didn't go downstairs last time. There's definitely something here. Were there fires here before? Oh, skeletons, right. Didn't seem like much of a threat, but I hope there's not a necromancer down here to deal with. You know what, actually, let's go back to the bonfire and see about actually lighting a torch. It's helpful to actually figure that out. Right, so I can't use the Pyromancy hand because I don't have enough. I don't actually have an attunement slot. Where you got, Clem? God damn it. You know, it's irritating that that's how simple it was. Jeez. Thanks, Clem. Yeah, I noticed the timer earlier. I say originally I did think that skeleton's gone, which is weird. Originally I did think that I could just go bam and relight it to reset the timer, but that didn't work. Nice. Oh boy, I sure hope that's not a mimic. There's a lot of blood down here, but why? Based on how many torches you've picked up. And you sure the torches don't just... like, they're not consumables or anything? They were all fighting something. Is this the way forward when we get all the big souls? Soul vessel. Huh. Alright. Is it called an immortal torch? Because I don't think I've gotten anything like that. Oh, here you are. Wondering where you'd gotten to.
You've made it. Of course. Even more. I don't... Did you see the It wasn't there when I came here before. I don't know. But there is something. It seems to fulfill something... I would not... It was blocked by a wall, but it was crumbling, and I finished the job. Did you see It was... But there's something essential.
That's fair enough, Clem. Hopefully you are right and I don't know what went wrong before. Okay, you finished the job. Was it this that you finished the job of? Because nothing's open down here, buddy. Yeah, well. Remember not having a problem with torches. Like I say, it was just at the start of the game. The pathway where you light the torches and just couldn't light it again for some reason. I don't know, maybe I just did something wrong. Or misunderstood something. Not uncommon with this series. Now I've got to figure out where to go next. Which I should probably do before I head off for the night. Yeah, we didn't finish the Shaded Woods. Where's this? Oh, this is where we didn't finish because up ahead was a little bit, yeah. I should be considerably stronger now, though. So who knows? Wow. Such slow movement. Alright, so that's definitely a battle, but not an impossibility. Especially not with the way he swings. Door. Doesn't appear to be anything. Another door. Let's check out this door. Come on. Before your brother gets here. Come on, buddy. Again, a lot of bloodstains here. But no apparent cause for them, because I doubt these things caused this many deaths. Oh, that might be why. God damn it. Doesn't last as long as it did in the first game, thankfully. But there is also the other passage. Let's take a look and then we'll call it for the night. Yeah, you were definitely harder the first time I came here. Or was it you that was the tough one? Could be both. Mastodon. No, it wasn't you. Might as well de-equip that. Same moveset. Depending on the upgrade requirements, it could end up being way better than the standard halberd. Not a bad idea. Good day. Yeah, backstab probably would have worked better for that. Dragon Charm, what is that? Do you remember that I have an Estus shard? If I don't do the Estus shard tonight, I'm not going to remember. I say that, I mean, she does tell you that you've got one. Looks like a bunch of boys up there. Is that really the best idea there, friend? Watch out for the karate dwarf. Hmm. Wait a minute. No, 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 get back here. Wonderful. So he's already coming for me, so you I should take out as quickly as possible. Make sure we cover the bases. Alright. Oh, I can't go in there from here. Okay. Well, that looks neat. Nice. Looks like another camp. Are there friendlies here, or is this just nasty? I hope they're friendlies. No, looks like nasties. Probably worth putting this out now. Excuse me, sir. Do you have a license to dig in these premises? I thought not. Gonna want to break that. Oh, now that I have your attention. Oh. Thou hast angered me. And now you're dead. Only attracted one, though. Come on, gents. So we dance. Something's going on in there. Oh, that reminds me. Did anybody see the trailer for the new Bond movie? Oh, that looks nasty. Thanks, buddy. It's a pig. Or a boar. Oh, I thought you were my buddy then for some reason. I don't know why I thought that. My body's clearly a different colour. You were way too quick to get back on your feet. Yeah, trailer for the new Bond movie came out. Explains basically nothing about the plot. Carrying over stuff from Spectre. Hopefully won't be as disappointing as Spectre was. There's also the weird thing as well that the official Bond YouTube channel has put out like 4 trailers for different, each for a different country, and they seem to be the same trailer. And as far as I can tell, they're not restricted to particular countries. So it's a case of why. Right, did we actually accomplish anything here? Is there anywhere to go from here? Seems like kind of a dead end. Unless the goal's in the well. And there's something in the well. Alright. Let's try that again. Actually, maybe do it right this time. Yeah, third time should be the charm. Okay. There's a bunch of noises coming from places. I don't know where, and that bothers me. Getting a lot of horizontal distance. What a thrilling conclusion to tonight's stream. There we go. Back off, swine. Anyway. Ooh. Okay. And this leads in this building. trap, you say? Oh, shit. Well, at least I know how to identify him now. I've been hitting every chest I've come across just in case, Clem. And then it finally happened, and I wasn't ready for it. No, I had stuff go wrong often enough in the original game. Every chest I'm hitting. And in a bunch of cases, I've broken wooden chests and just gotten rubbish out of them. And in some cases I've hit them twice, because the first hit has led me to not be entirely sure. But there's the very clear answer. Oh, there's a pathway here. But yeah, there's the very clear answer. If it's a mimic, it has a health bar. Oh, I'm having horrible flashbacks to the Crystal Caves. First one you fought as well. Somebody's gonna get a paddling. Wasn't aware we were playing RE4 today. There was a bonfire there? I thought I saw a bonfire, then thought I was wrong. Let me see this. What does this one say? Holder therefore rolling. Alright. Well, let's go back and find that bonfire. I stood on it. Now that bodes well. Oh, there we go. Thanks, Professor. I would have completely missed that. Don't know why I missed it the first. I can't use the bonfire. Is it because of you? Fare thee well. Alright, let's do this. Hopefully when we come back next time I'll remember that guy's there. Alright.
Is that a Shaun? However,
Alright, that's good. We're good for the life gems. Brightstone Cove, Seldora. Alright, let's head back there and call an end to the stream. Did everybody respawn? Yes, they did. Alright. Well, as we take a rest at the bonfire, as a guy stands in front of us, there we go, bugger off, buddy, thank you. As we admire my cape, which is super sweet, and look up at the cloudy sky, it's time to bid farewell. I want to thank everybody who joined the stream today. I always appreciate the support. Thank you so much for watching. Special thanks to Bane, Professor Snape, and Klim for joining the chat today. I always appreciate it, guys. What keeps the stream going. Otherwise, I would probably just be sat here in silence, completely forgetting I have an audience I'm supposed to be interacting with. We will be back on Sunday, 8 PM, Greenwich Mean Time. Probably with Beautiful Joe. That is the intention at the minute. It may change, but for the minute we're intending Beautiful Joe. So hopefully we'll get to see Hulk Davidson. That'll be fun. Dark Souls will be back next Tuesday on 8 PM Greenwich Mean Time, GMT. We'll be back. We'll be continuing from the Royal Army campsite with our wolf face. Wolf face. But in the meantime, I want to thank everybody for watching. I always appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Have yourselves a fantastic time of day, and take care.